All right, today we're doing 6.2, same type of thing as yesterday, except today it's multiplication and division instead. So here's my little reminder to you. Once again, you have to show work. Okay? Have to. We only got 4 examples again today, and then you'll get your assignment. So pretty straightforward. Example number 1, we got 20 equals 4x. Okay? So we're going to draw our line, same thing that we did yesterday. What do we want by itself? We want to get x by itself, but the 4 is in the way. How is the 4 attached to the x? It's being multiplied. Okay, that's probably one of the hardest things for people to see. But I always say, is there a plus sign combining them? A minus sign? Where's the division sign? There's none of those, so it has to be multiplication, okay? We don't put a point there because that kind of looks like 4.x, which makes no sense. So anytime you have a number with a variable, or this is called a coefficient, remember the number in front, they're being multiplied together. So in order to undo multiplication, what do? Division. Do the opposite. So I'm going to divide by 4. What you do on one side, because it's an equation, you have to balance it out. I'm going to divide by 4 on this side. Okay, this turns to, I'm going to reset everything. This turns to 5 equals, now on this side, it doesn't turn to 0 like we did yesterday. 4 divided by 4 actually turns into 1. And that's what we want, because if this turned to 0, x would also be 0. We have to keep x in the problem. So remember, we don't write 1x because that's repetitive. We just write x. So my answer is x equals 5. Okay, we can still check all of these. So you do write 20 equals 4. And then I always put my answer in parentheses whenever I'm multiplying. 4 times 5, we know that is 20, so that is correct. Okay, let's do another one of those. Negative 8y equals 24. You're going to draw your line. We're getting rid of this number because it's the one with the variable. So I'm going to divide because it's being multiplied, and you always take the negative sign with it. So I'm dividing by negative 8, dividing by negative 8, resetting everything. That turns into 1. Not a negative 1, a positive 1, because a negative and negative make a positive, leaving just y there. And then 24 divided by negative 8 is a negative 3. Okay, if I go to check that, I get negative 8 times y, which is negative 3. We know 2 negatives make a positive, and 8 times 3 is 24. So that is multiplying. In order to solve multiplication problems, you have to divide. So now I'm going to leave a little bit of space here. I'm going to do x over negative 4 equals negative 9. Okay, this is pretty clear to see. I'm not adding or subtracting the 4. I'm not multiplying the 4. I am dividing the 4. Anytime it's in a fraction, you're dividing. So in order to get rid of division, I have to do the opposite, which is multiplication. So I'm actually going to multiply this thing by a negative 4. Okay, the reason I put it up top is because this is a fraction, right? If I want to multiply it by a negative 4, that's my fraction that I'm multiplying it by. Okay, this is what I don't want you to do. So this is bad. Don't even write this down, but I want you to see that this is what I see a lot. I see people do this. So they multiply by negative 4 here on the bottom, but really that means they're multiplying by a negative 1/4, which turns this into x over negative 16, which does not help us because our end goal is to get x, or the variable, completely by itself. Okay, so don't multiply it on the bottom. You have to multiply it up here at the top, because what happens, we can cross simplify that. That turns to 1, that turns to 1, and the only thing that I have left is x. Okay, but don't forget to balance it out. I multiplied by a -4 over here, so I'm going to multiply by a -4 over here. I don't have to have my over 1. I guess I could put it if I wanted to, but that's kind of unnecessary because we know how to do that just fine. So negative times a negative is a positive. 9 times 4 is a positive 36. Okay, I'm going to check that. 36 divided by -4 is -9. Even just saying that out loud, I know that's correct. So I'm good to go. All right, last one. I want you to try to do this one on your own. D over 3 equals 60. So pause this, try to do it on your own. Okay, hopefully you actually paused it. I'm dividing, so in order to undo division, I need to multiply. The 3's on the bottom, so to get rid of it, I have to put a 3 on top up here. That cancels everything out, and I'm left with D. I multiplied by 3 on this side, so to even it out, I have to multiply by 3 on this side. 60 times 3, 6 times 3 is 18. Add a 0. I got to make sure that's right. So 180 divided by 3 equals 60. Well, I know 18 divided by 3 is 6. Add a 0. I'm good to go. All right, once again, your homework is on Go Formative, but I want you to write all the problems down on a piece of paper. Send me a picture of the answers if you get them done. Okay.